Michelle, we're moving towards the end of our show. There are a few questions we always end up with. I think the first question you already answered, but I'm going to ask it again just to make sure that people are expecting that question, which is, what would you tell your 20-year-old self?
I definitely... The first expression is buck up, little camper. It's going to be all right.
Right. 100%. 100%.
Because we always have a way, especially at that age, of over dramatizing the world. And
even now, I would say even now that my life sucks or everything is going to end. When if you talk to somebody who's ahead of us in terms of wisdom and age, they're going to tell us you have a long life to live. You'll be okay.
You'll be fine. Exactly. And also, there are two other things. First, you are enough. And the third is remain your authentic. Stay true to who you are, to your path.
Right.
And I've been very, very fortunate to have an amazing tribe that I'm surrounded by, and that gives me all of that. So
that's beautiful.
Yes.
And Michelle, next question is going to be around, where do you feel there's a gap in humanity right now? Where should humanity as a whole should migrate towards?
The one word that comes to mind when you ask that question is the word connection. I think there's been a lack of connection that has created so much mistrust, fear, inability for us as individuals to connect with others. If and it's needed. I mean, that's one of the key components to achieving real happiness. Is the research is out there. There's been this general malaise, especially post-pandemic, about needing to feel connected. And so that would be one thing I wish we could focus on.
Yeah, no, I think if COVID didn't tell us, if the COVID told us one thing, it told us a lot of things. It was one thing was a lot of people were severely depressed because they couldn't talk to other people. They were not comfortable in their own presence. Right now, there's a whole philosophical discussion. Why weren't you? Because you should be able to enjoy your own company, and if you're not, maybe you're the wrong company. So maybe we need to fix that company, right? That's a completely different argument, maybe a different podcast, maybe a series of podcasts. But this is not a podcast for that. We're going to talk about the companionship and the connection is very important. Either is it with yourself or with others, right? That connection is very important. If you're missing that connection in life, no matter how much money you have, no matter how much success you have, you're not going to feel fulfilled. So thank you again for saying that, Michelle. The next question really is, sorry, what was that, Michelle?
No, I mean, that is one of the definitions when tying it back to the migrate to wealth. That is one of the definitions of wealth. I mean, it's who you share it with, the people you surround, doing things that matter with people that matter. So,
no, 100%. So, Michelle, one more question is around. We've been talking for the last almost 45 minutes, so approximately. Who's counting? But what's one thing that I didn't get a chance to ask you that you feel is going to impact our listeners?
Well, this is also a part of the longer conversation of the meaningful life. Like we just started the 1st of February, so things, a lot of people's New Year's resolutions are starting to kind of frazzle, etc. And really, it's the idea of what is staying authentic to yourself, to your own personal goals, and not what is extrinsic. So looking from within of how do you underwrite, or the question would be, whose life script are you living? I mean, that's a whole other conversation, but I'll leave
the podcast. We'll do it one time. At some point, we'll do that podcast too, because it's an important podcast.
But that's truly the question. Whose life script are you living? Is it that of the external forces, social pressure? Is it from what the media thinks you should be saying, what your parents think that you should be doing, or what is it? If you had to write your own life script, what would it look like?
Correct. I completely agree. I think, as you said, it's a much broader conversation because there's a lot deeper conversations that need to have to even explore that at the surface.
Yes.
But we'll maybe, as I said, we'll have that conversation at some point. Can't promise when, but we'll have it at some point. Michelle, if somebody wants to reach out to you, especially for the tool or amazing things you're doing in the real estate investing world, where can they find?
They can reach me through my website. It's investingwithfire.com. And you could book a 15-minute call right there on my website. We could go through some intros. You could also subscribe because I write about lots of different things, whether that is tech on AI or economic trends, where the Fed is going in terms of, as we know from yesterday's announcements, they aren't going to probably make the cut earlier versus later. So I do a lot of, for crystal ball forecasts and assumptions based on my background, as well as real estate. If you're interested in anything that I'm invested in, feel free to book a call. I'm happy to reach out and chat.
Awesome. Well, Michelle, thank you again for your valuable time. I really enjoyed the conversation. I think the AI world we're just scratching the surface for AI. It's going to evolve much faster than we all can imagine. So I would recommend and ask everyone to pay attention to what's happening in the AI world, because if you're not paying attention, somebody else is going to. And if they pay attention and you're not, your voice is not going to be part of that conversation. Definitely stay abreast on that. It's going to be helping. You're going to be doing yourself a favor, your next generation a favor. With that, thank you again for the listeners to staying till the end. If you're hearing this part of the conversation, that means you stayed through till the end. So thank you again for doing that. This show would not be possible without your commitment and your support to listening to the information. Our guest is as good as a value you get from them. So thank you again for giving us your most valuable resource, your time. Michelle, thank you again. Appreciate it.
Thank you.